there. This is my very first Facebook Live. I am super nervous. I'm doing this because my friend Cliff challenged me to start going live within this Facebook group and to connect with members of the community here in person. And so, if you're out there, I would love it if you could join me. Hi, Angie. How have you been? Thanks, Angie. So I'm really nervous, and I don't really know what to do in a live Facebook stream, I think. So I made some points. I've missed you too, Angie. We need to talk, actually. And so I've made some points that I want to touch on. And I'm going to try and keep this to just 15 minutes because I told Cliff I think I could only do 15 minutes to begin with. So here goes. So the first thing I want to talk about is just some things that are going on with Etsy. And yesterday, which was February 28th, Etsy made a couple of announcements. One was that was good news. Sales have gone up. What did they say? 17.8% in Q4 for 2017. And that's compared to the same time last year in 2016. Hi, Missy. And so that's good news. Now, whether or not you as a seller have experienced that increase in sales is a different story. Hopefully you have. I can say that for Q4 of last year, I did experience more sales than 2016. But then again, 2016, I was in transition. And so I wasn't as active on Etsy. I was a lot more active last year. Hi, Andrea. Thank you for joining. So that's good news. They also said that compared to the 3 months before Q4 of 2017, that number was up 33%. So according to Etsy, sales are going up, things are getting better. Now, on a more granular level for you as a seller, I hope that's translating, but hopefully it is. We'll talk more about that later. I'm going to do a full podcast episode where I summarize the entire announcement that they made. But that's the good news. Now, the not so good news, and it depends on how you feel about this, is that they are closing down Etsy Studio and Etsy Wholesale. If you are involved in either of those, then you're probably going to be affected. And I don't know how much. Now, I'm not involved in Etsy. I'm sorry, not Etsy Wholesale, Etsy Manufacturing. Yes, Etsy Manufacturing, not Etsy Wholesale. Don't want to start the rumor mill. So if you're involved in, Angie says, oh, Q1 for this year is awful. Actually, Angie, I've had a pretty good Q1. I was actually looking at my numbers a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know what has changed or why. But I know right now, well, as of earlier this week, Etsy was doing some testing with titles and listing titles. And I think some people were able to see what they were doing and some people weren't. But there's so much testing going on. There's actually a place on Etsy you can go to see what they're experimenting with and testing with. I'll find the link to it and put it in the group so that you can see what's being tested. They don't always announce before they do the testing, but the good thing is I think you can check them out, what's going on there. So Etsy Studio is going to be closed down later on this year, as is Etsy Manufacturing. I'm not involved with Etsy Manufacturing, but I was part of Etsy Studio because I do sell crafting supplies. And I remember when the switch came and we had to make some changes to our listings, and it was a huge hassle. It wasn't fun. And that was, I don't recall, I want to say Etsy Studio has probably been around for about a year or so, if not a bit more. And I can tell you altogether, I think I have only received 2, maybe 3 sales total through Etsy Studio. I can go back and check that number, but it's nothing significant at all. So the loss of Etsy Studio later on this year for me is not a big loss. I don't know how others who might have been who might have been selling through Etsy Studio feel about that, but for me, it's not going to make much of a difference at all. Andrea says in February, promoted his listings helped a lot. Oh, okay, so this was the first year. That's good to know. I have used promoted listings as well, but I didn't find them as helpful in generating sales. What I liked was that I was able to get intel on keywords that people were using to find my products. And so I was able to do some tweaking with my tags and my titles. But I used it for a store that was not my crafting supply store. I want to try it again with the supplies and see if that changes anything. So that's good to know, Andrea. Andrea, if there's any resource that you used to learn how to really use promoted listings efficiently, would you mind letting me know, and I can just announce it, or if you just read the handout that they have. I just went in blind and I was just playing around, so maybe that has something to do with why I didn't get the best results. Angie, yes, I'm glad they're shifting their focus back to the main Etsy as well. I think the majority of sellers will like that, because I think for some time people thought that their attention was too divided, and that might have been contributing to the diminishing sales. So that's a good thing. The other thing I wanted to announce is there's another Q&A session that Josh Silverman is going to be doing, along with, I think, a couple other people. I'm not sure who all, but you can submit your questions. I encourage you to submit your questions to in the Etsy forums, and people will get to vote on which questions they want to have answered by Josh or whomever. So I will link to the Etsy forum post where you can submit your questions. And if you do submit questions, let me know, and I can go in and vote for your question to be answered. I did a summary of the last Q&A session that Mr. Silverman had, and it was good. There were lots of good questions asked, and so now is a good time. And I like that now you can actually vote on the questions that get answered. I don't know if that's how he selected the ones he was going to answer before. I think it was slightly different. You submitted your questions ahead of time, and then they might have picked which ones were going to be answered. So I will put a link to that. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if I could talk for 15 minutes, but if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. I will try to answer. If I don't know the answer, I'll let you know I don't know the answer. Or if there's anything else you want to talk about, we can talk about that. I want to also thank everyone who is in the community, responding to questions when people ask, or comments from other people within the community. I really appreciate that, especially when I can't be around to respond or answer to all the questions. I just like that people jump in and feel comfortable helping and sharing their own experiences. So thank you. What else? Oh, okay. So I am very, very close to launching the membership site. I'm just having some things reviewed and putting some finishing touches. Now, just so you know, this membership site is just going to be premium audio recordings, but it's not going to be a typical like an online course where you go in, you do a course, and you're done. It's not that at all. It's um, a library where the content is continually growing. So just imagine just podcasts all the time, and I'm continuously adding to them, but it will be um, resources and information about selling on Etsy that's helpful to you. So in the beginning, there'll be less, but then as time goes on, the library just keeps growing and getting bigger and more expanded. So just to give you an idea of what's there, but I've been working really hard on it. I ran into some technical issues with just setting it up. I had to go back to the drawing board three, four times. Four times. I'm not a technical person, but I finally found a solution that works. My friend Cliff helped me figure out a technical solution for hosting the membership site. And I think it's finally stable now, stable enough to invite people to come in again and start using the resources in there. So I'm really excited to launch it. And I will let you know when it goes live. It will be going live very, very soon. And if you're not yet on the early notification list, you can sign up to it. Just go to convome.com/read to me, and just ping me when it's ready in the subject line. You don't have to, thanks, Angie. You don't have to say anything. You can say hello in the body of the email if you want to. But if I see ping me when it's ready in the subject line, I will add you to the early notification list. I don't add you to a mailing list. This list is strictly for once I open the doors, I will just email you and let you know that the doors are open and it's ready. Oh yes, so the other thing was I plan to, yes, Angie, that's correct, convome.com/read to me. Thanks for putting the link in. You're so awesome, Angie. I plan to do these live sessions twice a week. I'm going to try and be more active within the group. I'm so sorry. I'm just not there as much as I want to be, but I'm going to be better. It's a new month. It's a new, year. It's March. But I plan to do these on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I see all these emojis flying. I'm not sure what they are. Okay. But I plan to do these Facebook live streams every Tuesday and every Thursday. I don't know what times yet. If the morning time like this works for you, let me know. I will also do it in the evening and see if that works better for others, for more people, or I will just vary it so that morning people can catch the morning ones and evening people can catch the evening ones. But I am committing, and by saying this, I'm going to have to stick with it. So I'm going to verbally say I am committing to do Facebook live streams within the group every Tuesday and every Thursday. Today is the first day. Today is March 1st. And, oh, thank you. Andrea, it's 4 p.m. Are you in Australia, Andrea? It's 4 p.m. over there. It's 8 a.m. over here. So this works well for you. Okay, so for sure, morning session will work for people in different parts of the world. So perhaps what I'll do is I will do mornings and evenings on the different days, because I do want people to Europe. Yay! I do want people to be able to join and participate in these live sessions. So I have 10 seconds left. If there's anything else anyone wants to say, you can quickly pop it into the comments if you have any questions. Otherwise, I will end this live stream. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. I'm so nervous, but I'm so glad that you guys were here. Thank you, Angie. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you. Oh, how do I see who else was here? Missy, and I can't see the fourth person. But thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to join me and listen. I will be back again. Today's Thursday, next week, Tuesday. But this was fun, so I might do it before then. All right, thanks. Bye, everyone. Enjoy your day too. Thanks, Jennifer. Thanks for coming in. I will see you guys again.